arrancamos. Ok. Nuevamente, este es un juego de terror y no está dirigido a todos los tipos de público. Para obtener la lista de todas las advertencias sobre el contenido, visita nuestro sitio bla bla bla. Slay Princess utiliza efectos visuales intermitentes y el efecto parallax, que en casos poco frecuentes han provocado que algunos de los jugadores sufran mareos. Si alguno de estos efectos te ha causado un problema de salud, puedes desactivarlo desde las opciones del juego. Otra vez. Sin importar los errores que encuentres en la oscuridad, ten valor y sigue adelante. No hay finales prematuros, no hay decisiones equivocadas, solo las perspectivas novedosas y comienzos nuevos. Esta es una historia de amor. Bueno gente, bienvenidos a mi canal. Yo soy Nico y eros aquí en un nuevo episodio de nuestra serie Slay Princess. Está grabando esto, ¿no? Sí, está grabando. Bueno, ya vimos lo que pasó en el capítulo anterior. Ay, qué linda la música. Bueno, estás aquí para aniquilarla. Si no lo haces, será el fin del mundo. Bueno, habían pasado cosas extrañas. Vayan a ver el capítulo anterior, porque si vieron el capítulo anterior, ya se me ocurrió una idea. Vamos a intentar ir de nuevo a ver qué onda con ella. Y esta vez vamos a bajar sin el cuchillo. Así no podemos matarla. Creo que podría matarnos a golpes, pero vamos a intentarlo.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
Tengo que acabar con ella. Pero ¿cómo es que la princesa está encerrada en el sótano para acabar con el mundo?
Don't linger on the...
Ok, este mensaje ya lo sabemos. ¿Tienes alguna forma de probar esto?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin.
Pero matar a una princesa estaría mal, ¿no crees?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything...
No me acuerdo de ese mensaje, ¿eh? No sé qué... A ver, un momento, opciones. Pantalla, omitir. Después de elegir una decisión, transiciones. Omitir texto no visto. No sé a qué se refiere con eso. Menú rápido, visible oculto, activar efecto de hervor, paralaje, parpadeo. Avanzar texto automáticamente. Bueno, vamos a seguir así. A ver. No puedo hacerlo
Oh,
bien
if
más.
only that were the case. But I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. Like I said, I don't make the rule.
Tal vez no has pensado que tal vez me agrada la idea de que se acabe el mundo.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you...
Ajá. ¿No has pensado que tal vez la única razón por la que quiere acabar es porque la encerraron
While
ahí?
I appreciate the mental act, nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up, and before you decide to waste even more of our causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, unless, of course, you do...
Ok. ¿Has pensado que me agrada la idea de que termine el mundo?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to...
Bueno, me dice que me va a dar un gran premio.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world... I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil.
No soy de esas personas. Mira, iré a
Then
la
I guess we'll
cabaña
just
y
have to
tal
see
vez
what
considere.
happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, then each and every one of us... So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for... You make your way up the short path to the cabin. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to say... Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Bueno, la voz del derrotado no está. Así que vamos a entrar a la cabaña.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty. The blade is your implement.
Bueno, y acá yo podría guardar, por ejemplo... Podría guardar una. Voy a guardarla acá. Bien. Entonces, esta vez voy a entrar al sótano. No voy a tomar la daga. Voy a entrar al sótano.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oh,
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
oh, ahí está el más simp que yo, el chabón.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Es verdad, estamos yendo sin cosa. Hola, creo que continuar bajando las escaleras. Vamos a hacer lo mismo de la otra vez. Vamos a ver si le digo hola desde acá. A ver.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
Ah, tipo al toque me hace bajar.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Recuerden cómo actuó antes, ¿eh? Espera, primero tenemos que hablar.
Okay.
Qué bonita. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Oh,
Yo esa actitud no es igual, ¿verdad?
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Jazmín. Ah, grande Mirta. Entonces, ¿te llamas princesa? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
¿Por qué no me lo decís? Dime tú.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird.
Ni siquiera se molestó en elegir un nombre para sí misma. Espero que empieces a darte cuenta que no es de fiar. Ahora sube la escalera, toma la daga y aniquila antes de que sea demasiado tarde. No sé nada sobre ti, por lo que tengo entendido estás encerrada aquí por una razón. ¿Qué has estado comiendo o bebiendo? Vamos a preguntarle.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Tengo que saber para saber cómo es que estuviste
This is
haciendo.
the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Como que irrelevante.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Claro que sí, tiene que comer algo. No sé nada de ti,
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
claro, pero necesito que me
I
digas.
don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You
Claro.
have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Ujú. ¿Qué ahora sí te dejo ir?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
El simp.
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
Pues no, no voy a creerte. Voy a mantenerte encerrada aquí abajo, al menos por un rato. Podemos conocernos mejor mientras decido qué voy a hacer.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
¿Qué idea?
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help.
Ok.
But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
Ella no es buena, chicos.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Buscar la daga. Encerrarla en el sótano. Tengo miedo, tengo miedo. Buscar la daga. Bien, vamos a sacarte de aquí. Vamos a ayudarla. ¿O no? Vamos a encerrarla en el sótano, porque ella dice que va a salir.
I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
El héroe tiene...
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Ok.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here.
No, hay que ser... Qué alivio, temía que yo no podía cambiar de idea. Será mejor aniquilarla. Voy a guardar acá. Y así podemos ver las dos situaciones. Bueno, la mejor idea sería... No hay que seguir el plan, ¿no? Vamos a
It'll be
seguir
the
el plan.
death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Solo hace que tenga menos remordimientos.
I can be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
La pesadilla. Este es nuevo.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Mira. Pues... momento de guardar. Okay.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us? That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Supongamos que digo la verdad y que todo esto en realidad ya sucedió. ¿Por qué debería escucharte y por qué debería molestarme hacer algo al respecto?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Okay.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Puede ser.
We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you?
No muy bien.
No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Tiene un punto el narrador.
If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can.
Bueno, hablemos de esta
Just be
princesa.
quick about it.
Mis órganos dejaron de funcionar por estar cerca de ella. ¿Cómo rayos soluciona que voy a
Like I said,
solucionar
if
eso?
she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
Ajá. ¿Cómo dijiste la última vez? Y cito, es tan solo una princesa. ¿Cómo se te ocurre decir eso? Es obvio que es algo mucho peor.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Si hubo gente que la encerró, ¿por qué no la liquidaron?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. You can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. It's manipulative. Why are you trying to manipulate us? I don't know, I kinda like being special. Okay, fine. Maybe you can goad him into doing something, but he's not even the one who makes the decisions here. I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know the princess is dangerous.
Sí, ya
All I'm
sabemos.
trying to say is that you have to be the one to deal with her. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just the way it is. And for what it's worth, I know you have it in you to finish the job. We don't. You saw what happened to us last time. We need to leave.
No me estás contando todo.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Mi teoría, brother, que ustedes, locos de miércoles, no me están escuchando, y no me van a escuchar porque están programados. Mi teoría, loco, es que lo que nosotros pensemos de la princesa es lo que ella es capaz de hacer. Y el haber resucitado le da un poco más de poder porque nosotros un poco ya sabemos. Ahora, nosotros, esta voz silenciosa que nadie está escuchando,
He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we can't trust him.
no tiene que ver con eso, loco. Tiene que ver con que no nos puede decir directamente porque nosotros vamos a pensar en todo lo que es capaz de hacer y ahí no la vamos a poder parar. Entonces, es una princesa.
Stop talking yourself in neurotic circles and just get to the cabin already. Do you see the way he keeps pushing us? We have to get...
Esto.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
¿Y si nos damos media vuelta? Vamos a guardar. Me doy
This is
vuelta,
good.
media vuelta.
I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
La verdad que no. Sí, por supuesto sé a dónde voy. Lo único que importa es que sé a dónde no iré. Está bien. Está bien que se acabe el mundo. Llega un nuevo mañana. Se aleja de la cabaña sin hacer ruido. ¿Nos vendrá a buscar la princesa?
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Bueno. Me va a hacer...
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Se pone borroso.
What's going on? Where are we? It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
No. Sí, ahí está. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Ya sabemos qué hacer.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Vamos a ver si podemos llegar al...
The interior of the cabin is all the blade. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
Todo esto ya lo sabemos.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Voy a calmar mis nervios y
You
avanzar.
step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
¿Estás seguro de que no está armada?
You're so close. No, this is a good idea. Maybe...
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing.
¿Y si no suelto la daga? Vamos a soltar la daga.
The blade tumbles
Thank you. Maybe now we can just.
against your better. Will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship. Oh, have you decided what to do with
You know why.
Vamos a sacarlo.
Oh, you have to be kidding. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's so doubtful.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from you're here to slay. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you. The knife. Pick it up and cut me.
You won't like
Sí, vamos a rescatar a la princesa.
against your you cut into her. The she didn't so much as utter. Free from how is she so composed?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are as the princess approaches the wait. This isn't watch me.
Advertirle.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Justo pensé que esto fue demasiado fácil.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here
No
alive.
quiero matarla, bro.
The blade. Move the blade.
No, no, me quede.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you?
Sí.
I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
La prisionera.
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her.
Todo esto ya sabemos. Tengo una sensación de déjà vu.
Terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Claro que sí.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Pero esto es algo que solo es un déjà vu. Siento que todo esto realmente acaba de suceder.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the... Those are two very different... Let's say, if you're back... The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do. Which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good...
Me dijeron algo desagradable porque si realmente hice lo que hice seguramente se lo merecían. Después de todo soy un profesional.
Sure you are.
Claro que sí.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of, if it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought... What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts. Just be quick about it. Great. Now, if you don't...
Vamos a la cabaña.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she... Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do... Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
Vamos a volver a tratar de salvarla, pues.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by my...
Acercarme al espejo.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you... But there was a mirror a second, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll... You take the blade from the table. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope.
Escéptico.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Sí, porque hay una suelta.
That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sentarme donde me dijo.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor. Still a good distance.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Ya estuve aquí antes, soy la única persona que te recuerda. ¿Qué pasó después de que morí?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Sí, ella me recuerda.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles. I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
Claro, por eso el resto del mundo sabe de lo que es capaz la princesa, nosotros no, entonces somos la única persona que podría matarla.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why.
¿Y esa cadena en la pared?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you.
Bueno,
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
hay muchas opciones.
I wouldn't do that if I...
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the base.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible. Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
¿Qué hacemos?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. Yep. Nope.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be some...
Time passes. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade. She's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time, and after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
Bueno.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
No veo los cambios, ni las grietas.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass and pass until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And?
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Ahí está de nuevo. Pero no tienes oportunidad de responder. Y jamás la tendrás. Es hora de irse. Los recuerdos vuelven.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Es normal que tengan miedo. Ese es el final para ustedes, pero no para mí.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back.
Es el final. Lo que sea que haya del otro lado será algo bonito. Te acercas
I
a-
don't like that silence.
Has crecido. Otra vez encuentras en el silencio eterno. En la cabaña. Estás en la cabaña. Otra vez ella.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Eres el mismo ser de
Is a
antes.
child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Tú fuiste la que mejor me ha tratado desde que llegué aquí, gracias.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
¿Qué quieres que te traiga la próxima vez?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
¿Qué opinas sobre este receptáculo?
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. She will make for a patient heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Wow. No quiero lastimarte, pero temo que cuantas más veces vuelva, peor serán las cosas.
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
No quiero lastimarte, pero
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence. There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being, Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Tal vez. No la vamos a atacar acá. Podemos destruir nuestro cuerpo. Vamos a hacer una guardadita. Hay que volver, gente. Si destruyo mi cuerpo me pierdo para siempre, así que vamos a volver. Entonces estoy listo para volver.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Y eso es todo.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ay, es todo muy lindo, ¿eh? Hoja 2. Gracias. Ya llegamos hasta esta parte. Vamos a ir al menú principal. No, pero pará, ya guardé. Sí, guardamos acá. Y ahora voy al menú principal. Sí, tranquilo. Bueno. Tremendo, gente, tremendo. No podemos soltarla a la princesa. Pero tuvimos tanto tiempo que la cabaña se vino abajo y básicamente estuvimos afuera y nadie salió herido. Y estuvo bueno que no pudimos, el narrador no nos pudo obligar a matarla. Y por lo visto es porque ella ya sabe algunos caminos, ya los hemos recorrido y dice, bueno, estos no los vamos a recorrer porque no me complementan, no hace que sea más. Me pregunto cuánto puede llegar a cambiar en el momento en que nosotros la tratemos de matar o busquemos hacerle daño. Así que ese momento le va a sumar algo por ahí medio negativo a sus perspectivas y formas de ver las cosas y demás. Está genial el juego, está genial, está genial. No les digo todo lo que hacemos porque por momentos me concentro mucho en lo que está pasando y nada, es como que elijo las respuestas, pero sobre todo en los momentos que hay más silencio. Bueno, claramente la princesa está fragmentada. Realmente no quiero hacerle daño, no sé cuánto tiempo podemos seguir evitando esto de hacerle daño, porque ella ya nos dijo que nos va a ir bloqueando las partes que ya vimos, porque necesita formarse más. Si quiere ser un océano, dijo que es un estanque, así que estamos re lejos. No, falta ser un lago, un arroyo, un río, un canal. Nada, tiene para rato. Así que nada, gente, como siempre, si les gustó el video, darle like, suscribirse, compartir. No olviden darle a la campanita para más notificaciones. Sigue cambiando el mapa. Buenísimo. Y nada, recuerden que tenemos más cosas en el canal, más gameplay. Así que cuando quieran pueden entrar a verlo. Están invitados. Les mando un beso enorme y será hasta otra. Adiós.